Hey, it's us. Once again, I'm JT. Got my homeboy with me. Say something, might be.
What it do?
And that's what he says. Welcome to another Iyanla Fix My Life. We're here. Want to get it started?
Yeah.
Oh, you ready?
Oh, do you want me to start?
No, I said you ready
Yeah,
to get it started?
right.
Oh, you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're here with Iyanla has 5 siblings that have come to fix their life. I believe it's 3 males and 2 females. And so I think the youngest brother, Kadeem, he's part of a twin. Is that how you say it?
He's a twin.
He's a twin with Kadar. And so it's them two. And then we meet the older brother, William, and then the middle brother, Michael, and the oldest sister, what's her name? Shalimar. And so they come in, and she sits with them one by one, basically. And we learn from Kadeem, he was abused, of course. I think their thing is they're abused by we learned that they were foster kids once they were born. The last 4. The oldest daughter, well, we get to her later, but as far as the other 4, as soon as they were born, they were given up, correct?
I heard Kadeem say that him and his sister, when they were born, they were like put into the system. I wasn't clear about the other two, but somehow they got together.
But they knew each other. Those 4 really knew each other, or it seemed like they were in the same adoptive family or foster care.
Yeah,
while growing up.
Mm-hmm.
But we start with Kadeem. He said he was abused and only given like bread and water. It seemed like that was the running thing.
That was the thing, yeah. That's what made you believe that they were in the same home.
Yeah, they got the same.
Who thinks like that?
Same type of treatment. Mm-hmm. And we learned, growing up, he was a fighter. He always got into fights and being arrested for assault with a deadly weapon. Mm-hmm. And so he was just, I think, how his story went, being the youngest, I think he felt like he had to prove himself, however that would go. But I think how he, his thing was he kept on getting in fights growing up. Mm-hmm. And he like, I like to fight or whatnot. I think he was just,
trying to prove
I think that was
maybe
his thing,
I can see it, especially looking at how they were raised and all the shit they went through. Mm-hmm. I could understand. Now you're trying to have some semblance of power by fighting. So
and him being the youngest or being one of the youngest. Kadara, the other twin, she said she was abused again and raped, not only by different people, I guess, in the home, but by her sibling, also her older sibling, which is William. And so she's going through that. And when Iyanla talked to her, she had her one of her exercises, and they went outside. It seemed like they just chose somebody's neighborhood. It seemed like I'm like, where they at? Messing with something.
I thought she gonna have her like knock the mailbox down. I'm like, this
I'm like, wait, how you just? I'm like, ain't this your neighbor's yard? Because it seemed like they just walked up to some random mailbox. And she said, women need how did she put it? Need to be a bitch or have a bitch in them.
She says, every woman needs a bitch.
Yeah.
And then she's like, do you have one?
Yeah. Do you have a name for your bitch?
For some reason, I felt so uncomfortable. And the reason they were doing this exercise is because I guess Kadara, ever since she was going through all of this, she lost her voice. Basically, that's what Iyanla was trying to get her.
Cries in silence.
Yeah, she doesn't like speak out. And so Iyanla was like, you need to find like your inner bitch and let her, fight for you. Let her, bag people up off you. And so they go to this random mailbox.
I swear they went to somebody's mailbox.
Just have her like basically fussing at the mailbox. Just to, I guess
tell her how you feel,
to
get it off of you.
Get it out.
I don't know why she chose a mailbox.
And it seems so
weird. Yeah.
And she said, it's your bitch that will back you up or back people up off you. It's her that will let people know when they've crossed you. And I guess she said
she had an acronym for it.
Yeah, it's called
being in total control of herself. Mm-hmm. That's the bitch.
It just sounded so weird to hear Iyanla say it.
Not to me. Lately, she been, she been showing her bitch. But she had her say whatever she had to say, to the mailbox, to get the bitch out, and so that was one of her exercises as far as Kadera. Is that the name? Kadera?
Yeah, Kadera.
Then we sit with who was it? Shalimar, I believe, and we learned about her, the oldest sister. We learned that when she was born, her mother was only 16 or 17, and so she was raised by her grandmother or great grandmother, one of those. I think she said her grandmother.
Grandmother, yeah.
And
when she was born, I think for some reason she was with her great grandmother. Then her mom decided to leave with her boyfriend or whoever the dude she was dealing with, and so her grandmother came and got her. Yeah.
And so, I think the other four siblings probably felt some type of way. She was raised by somebody, I guess part of
a member of the family, yeah.
Family, and
I would feel some type of way if I was born and I found out I got an older sibling and they staying with grandma and I'm over here dealing with this bull crap. Of course, I'm gonna feel some type of way. Not even knowing
the high life,
right? And that's why when they all came in, Iyanla had something for them. For Shalimar, she had like a princess tiara, like a crown, because that's how the siblings looked at her, as if she had the best life.
Yeah,
because of all the struggles that they went through.
Having somebody that loved her, what they thought.
Yeah, because they don't know. Yeah, they didn't know her story.
They didn't know her story. She told us that she was abused and molested as a child, and Iyanla, they were sitting around at the table when she had everybody together, and she like, do any of y'all know this? It seemed like the twins
knew.
But
and
maybe
like the
other two brothers,
with Kadeem being the one that reached out to Iyanla, I feel like him and Kadera, they're probably more in touch with everybody versus the others. They're the ones who kind of keep in touch and trying to bring the family back together.
But something like that serious or that type of information, though?
Well, if you're talking about your struggles, maybe it'll come up. I don't see... I'm sure she probably
happened to be in.
She mentioned it because they mentioned what they went through.
Okay,
that's the assumption I'm making. I'm not. I mean, they didn't say it on the show, so I can't say for sure. But that's what I was thinking. That's why they know, because they shared with her their story or a part of it.
Yeah.
And so she was like, "Well, it wasn't all peaches and cream over here because I went through this, and that." That makes sense to me.
I believe it.
The big thing that happened on the show, though, like the reveal in. Not just them being in foster care and dealing with abuse, the fact that whoever they were with was having them like feel and touch and abuse each other sexually.
Yeah, just to get more than a piece of bread to eat. Like
otherwise
they lock them down in the basement
and
beat them and whatnot. Like basically, if you want relief and if you're hungry, all you gotta do is come upstairs and molest your sibling. And that's just
how does somebody's mind go there? First of all, these are kids.
Oh, diabolic, demented mind.
They were saying, at one point they were saying how they were 5. I think Kadera was saying she was 5, and the other people were like 14 and older.
Yeah, I think William was. At least
where were the like adults?
That's where William had a problem. When they was sitting around, he was like, "Man, I'm pissed off because these are adults. These are supposed to be people that's supposed to be looking out for us and protecting us, and you having us doing this bullshit. Touching your sibling, and I don't know if you think this is for fun, and you don't know if you messing up these kids' mind.
Right. And like with Michael, I think it was Michael talking about everything he was going through as far as the abuse and them touching each other. And then being put on punishment, having 2 slices of bread and a cup of water a day. He said
like a month for him.
So he said that drove him to having epilepsy. He's epileptic now.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're going through all of this, and you have adults that are supposed to be there, like
supposed to be the
entire time, I'm waiting on the reveal that the people that was doing all of this. Are in court, or we're filing some charges or something.
It seems like they living their best life.
Because the story kept getting worse and worse, and I'm waiting on somebody to say, we called the police, or
somebody was. Yeah, I didn't hear that.
No, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And so I was hoping like from a production standpoint, Iyanla was going to say, we stepped in, we found out about it, and so we sent authorities to this location because if nothing else, we need to make sure they are unable to have more foster kids or adopt any more kids.
I've never known if they're putting them that go that extra mile.
I can hope.
You can hope all you want, but we never seen that in the black screen and the white letters. You know, we've never seen that.
Hoping. Because and then it wasn't just like something happened and they don't want to reveal the person's name, like it was an uncle or a sibling or something like that. No, this was several kids being abused. I feel like they should have taken it a step further. Yeah,
somebody got to pay. You know, you just can't do this and just be nilly willy and whatnot. And while they gathered at the table, while they were talking, who was it? William. Felt some type of way when she was saying, you know, like it was an exercise of like I hate you for type of deal, and they were kind of hesitant. She like, you know, you have the right to say I hate you because a lot of them were, all of them were mal-mannered,
and reserved,
I'm sure they really
because
wasn't
thinking back on the abuse. I'm sure they got their ass beat.
Yeah.
And so even now as adults and out of that situation, they're still reserved as far as speaking out against these people, which is something that they have to break. And I think that's what Iyanla was trying to get them to do. Like, hey, it's okay to say, like, I hate that you put me through this bullshit.
And somebody got to pay for, this, well, you know, what I went through. And
you got the young Kadeem taking it out on people. You got William. I think he had been incarcerated for 14 years and found Jesus. Like y'all have been through some shit, and it's not. It's looking better, but they're not dealing with what's inside. So
they're functioning adults. Yeah. It's like everybody does. You know, everybody has a past.
And some unspoken pain. Deep down, I'm sure. Truths,
that we've been through. Younger that whatever molds you, to this day, but you still functioning. It's crazy how the mind works because, you have all this abuse and, some people, take it to the brink and, go crazy. And it seemed like that's for everybody. It seemed like it can it's so much things that's going on in people's life. It seemed like you would think just the okay, that's it. And just be done with it. But people move on. And
unfortunately, sometimes when people do that, they kill themselves. Yeah, they can't take it anymore.
But people dismiss that their mental is it can't take it no more. Whatever they're going through,
and they end up broken. Like one scene on this episode when Iyanla was talking to Michael, and then Michael came. Was it Michael? Is he the oldest? William. No, I'm sorry, William. She was talking to William, and then when she was trying to get him to speak out and say what he hated. He was like, I hate the fact that they had me in the basement and they would starve me and they would beat me until I would come up and, mess with my siblings.
Yeah. These are adults, man.
Yeah, but once he revealed that, we saw Kadira shut down. At one point, we saw Michael shut down to the point where they had to call like the production lady over there to kind of check on him. Because that's what he does.
I thought he was having a seizure.
I thought maybe so too.
He was epileptic.
He kind of shut down and start eternalizing.
They're like, hey, you're going to have to talk to us. What's going on? Because he came non-responsive. Excuse me, unresponsive to them. And he wasn't saying nothing. They're like, hey, brother.
And coming to the realization that you guys are speaking this on national television. Letting people know that y'all were forced to mess with each other. There are still going to be people who look at you guys like you're the sick ones. And it's kind of what I felt Kadira was feeling towards William. Him being the older brother, him not being able to protect him. We know he had some issues with that on this episode. So he felt some type of way already. Yeah. When his sister kind of she wasn't able to look at him. She wasn't saying anything. And so I'm sure that took them right back to that place and revealed to him how she felt about what was going on. And I feel like she was especially blaming him a little bit. Yeah,
because, you older than me. You a teenager.
Even though he was young, too.
But Iyanla had to explain, he was made to do the same thing.
It wasn't his fault. He was forced to hurt you.
Yeah, he wasn't a grown man doing this. He didn't do this, for play. This is, he told him, if I had to eat, it was the same thing. If I had to eat, if I didn't want to be locked up, if I didn't want to be beat, I had to do this. And so hopefully, they get their healing, those two. How she felt about him, some way. She really didn't hit on Kadeem, the other twin. We just know, he liked to fight and whatnot. But, he was still sitting there like he was holding some stuff in.
And it could simply be the fact that they've all had to hold this in for so long. Because at one point...
Because that's something you just ain't going to talk about around the table.
You're not going to talk about it around the table. Because it's not only you keeping what happened to you, but you keeping what happened to everybody. And me speaking my truth could affect you. You know what I'm saying? So that's... It was a lot.
Yeah, man. And so, but it ended well as far as this episode. You know, I guess getting there.
It seemed
somewhat.
It seemed like it went fast. It seemed like we didn't really, dive deep in a lot of situations.
I think she concentrated just more on the cohesiveness of all the siblings together, and getting their things straight. And then we learned that the mother is coming next episode, and so I think you have to deal with this first, get y'all straight.
But the way this episode ended, it seemed as if this was going to be it, and then like the little black screen with the white letters, as you call it. Yeah. They were saying the mother found out, reached out to Iyanla, wants to sit down with the kids for the family healing. So it was almost like an afterthought. I think Iyanla felt like she was done. She had done enough. I felt like we had only scratched the surface from what we were seeing.
It's a TV show.
No, I understand.
And so I think,
I thought it was going to be another part with just the adults. I mean, just the children, and maybe part 3 would have been the mom, coming in, because we got some trilogy. I don't want it. I just felt like the work really hadn't been done. Because when they first came, they came with homework. Yeah. So you don't show up with your homework. She talk to you guys a little bit. Y'all discuss what's going on, and then she gives you homework. So this felt rushed to me.
They didn't come with the attitudes or whatnot. So I think they're actually taking everything in. I don't know. I don't think it was. To me, I think it was. If they work on whatever she gave them, some more homework.
What? She gave him a quilt. That quilt was nice, and she want them to she want them keep coming together and working on your family.
Yeah, take this apple.
We didn't really see
what did you want to see? Maybe it seemed like you wanted to see extra.
I wanted to see more. I wanted to see more of the process. I just felt like it was kind of, maybe it's just me. I just felt like it was kind of rushed. This episode. But I think thankfully, they'll be back next week.
No clapbacks, and so
everybody was
willing. We never seen just everybody, especially that many people on one show, was just calm and taking everything in. Nobody.
That's the problem. That's a problem to me because yes,
but they maybe that's not part of their character. That's just them. Maybe people can be reserved. Maybe they ain't just gotta cut you out. But you're
being reserved, but also holding in all of this pain and not speaking about it.
Hold on, but you ain't gotta.
I ain't trying to get them to clap back. I'm just saying I felt like maybe a lot was just cut out, and we didn't see it.
You want to see some tears?
We saw some tears. We saw some tears.
This motherfucker done hurt me. You want some more Iyanla hugs? Oh, she did do an exercise I never seen before. When she took William outside
and
made him
talking to the hole.
Talking to the hole. Where'd she get that at, man? It seemed like she saw that on a commercial and just said, let me try something like this. And it seemed like that look he gave when he
was like, I don't understand.
What the fuck am I doing?
I don't know what's going on. He was a little bit hesitant.
I got sand on my mustache.
She was like, let your head go. She tried to put his head down let your head touch the earth. He seemed like he was a little uncomfortable with that. But
I'm like, you gonna have to do this with me. You dig you a hole. Damn it. I'm just ain't gonna but she dig you a hole.
She explained it to him, speaking into the hole and then bury it.
Why can't I speak into the air? What and the air takes it away. Why I gotta
It's symbolic.
I guess that's symbolic too. I mean, I ain't gotta have my mouth in the damn ground.
Dig a deeper hole.
I'm like, I didn't know this was part of my healing. Yeah, crazy.
But that's Iyanla. That's what she does.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Okay, I want to see. Let's do an exercise and let's dig a hole. and you lay prostrate on the ground. and spew all your qualms into a goddamn hole.
Ain't a hole big enough, brother.
Well, shit.
Ain't a hole big enough.
There you go. Go into a pool.
Here you go. And speaking underwater.
Yeah, speaking underwater. But I was outdone. I just never seen that exercise before. But that's it for the first part. We know that the mama coming next week, and so hopefully
that's gonna be interesting because They really
We
didn't
don't know her
focus too much
story.
on the mom, besides the fact that she gave up damn near all her kids. I want to know why she kept having kids when she wasn't taking care of any of them, you know. But she was on drugs, so.
And Iyanla said when they were sitting at the table, you know, like, do you know your mother's story? And they're like, nope. Do you know how you got here? And they, you know, we just here and we pissed.
They have a reason to be.
Yeah. And so that'll be next week, people. You got anything else, Mike B?
No, sir.
Till next time.